Alright, today I have autograph request time, and it's just basically shrinking. The whole autograph thing is shrinking down to where I only have a few more people that I really feel like writing to. I wanted to get every single person that ever could get a golf card signed, if that makes sense. Starting with the 1990 Pro Set, the 1991 Pro Set, the 1992 Pro Set. I wanted to get the Fax Packs card set, the Grape Knot Golf, not Grape Knot Golf, whatever that is. And then I also wanted to get the old Donruss and the Miller Press cards. And some of those are not easy to find, and people are start saying so-and-so's rookie card and charging a mint for them, where they only used to be $1 or $2 a card if you hit the right listings. The 1981 or 82, the second year of the Donruss is much more hard to get. The Miller Press is very expensive if you can find it, and so sometimes people ask $1 for the Miller Press. Some people ask $10 for the Miller Press, and they're like, oh my gosh, do I really want to get this card for $10 and risk losing it? Most golfers, if you have the correct address, will sign stuff, and that's what I got today. And then also, don't forget the 1992 gold foil stamped Pro Set cards. Those are becoming very, very expensive. I got them when they weren't worth very much. There was even a binder for that. So I'll show you this stuff here. One autograph request went out today. This one is not finished because I only got 30 cents on here. So I need to get more than 30 cents on there. So the first one here is 2 of 2. And there are 2 different cards here. Now you say, oh my gosh, those are the exact same card. Well, no, they're not. No, they are not. So I had written Larry Ziegler a long time ago. I didn't know I had 2 more cards. I can't remember if that was the Houston one or the Orlando one. I think this is the Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. So this is, I believe that was Larry Ziegler. Don't quote me on that one there, but there's the stamps right there. I'll be just recycling that envelope. And we have one from the 1992 Pro Set. It's very possible I didn't have this card. I'm not worried about mint condition or not, but there is Larry Ziegler right there. This golfer is currently, he was born in 1939, so he's getting up there in age. He's 80-something right now. Probably around 86 or something like that, if that does my homework correctly there. So Larry Ziegler. So these people are going to be not, you're just going to wish you had written to them when you had the chance, instead of having to take a chance on the dreaded eBay. And then you think it's the same card, but this is the 1990, it says I think 91 on there. I can't read that because it's covered up there. But the Champions, the gold foil, and then there's like whatever tournament that he was in that he won. So these are the people that were in, I believe these were the senior PGA, is what they called them. They didn't call them the Champions Tour back then. So Larry Ziegler signed that one. But the funny thing is that they're both the exact same back. Otherwise, you wouldn't even notice. I think there's even some variations to this particular set, which people surmise is a different set there, because some of them are not foil stamped. In fact, I have one with the tournament name down here without the foil stamping. It was either a mistake or part of another set, and so I'm missing that card, and I will not be able to get that card. And these numbers are the exact same, 220. There's not 229 cards in the set. That just happens to be, they just basically reused extra cards and just added stuff to it. The exact same design, and this is not in foil, and that is in foil. So 1991 Champions. Every once in a while you might find one mixed in your golf lot, but these cards are almost never signed, ever, ever, ever. So it's a good thing to get those. And then this one here came from, if I could get the, I actually sent Mr. Ziegler, I guess, 2 envelopes. So he folded this up and used that, and so I'll use that again because it was never used. I have 2 more cards here from a golfer that I had never written to before. Why did I send off 2 duplicates? I don't know. It's just a thing to do. So these are the same card here. And he said, Henry, here you go. Enjoy, Tom Byram. So I don't really necessarily need to keep the letter there. I might. We'll see. If that'll fit, I might just keep the, enjoy Tom Byram and throw it in my binder behind, but usually I put this behind the card there. So Tom Byram, golfer, from 1992 set. There's that one there. And again, these younger guys are technically what we call the rookies. They don't sign very much. So there's Tom Byram. I don't remember who got that one in, but again, once a golfer starts getting, some requests that haven't gotten requests for a while, then the floodgates open for those people who are trying to collect every single one of them. Again, I don't remember how many I have left, but I have at least 100 more to get. Maybe 200 or 300 more. That's an insane amount of people that I have again, I've written to some of these people 3, if not 4 times. I've probably written Craig Stadler 4 times. I didn't say a letter, but I myself had said, I'm done with Craig Stadler. I'm just going to go and buy the cards on eBay if I wanted to. So it's not a big deal. Not a very, very big deal. But I said the window for me is closing. I do have a few cards that I have purchased for autograph purposes. But again, it's just so difficult because you find your favorite seller on the internet, then you've got to go from 5 different people to find the 5 different cards that you need autographed. You know, and these people are like 80 to 90 years old. It's like, oh my gosh, now I have to wait another week for my cards to get here from seller A and seller B. And it gets to be so much, you know, you don't realize that by the time you get 2 autograph requests done, you spent $20 to $30, $40 because one card might be $1 for $1 shipping. That's $2. Then another $3 or $4. And somebody had mentioned the minor league cards, they can be, you know, $1 if you hit the right vendor, but then you need like 3 or 4 other cards of that particular person that will sign any amount of them, and turns out you're like $20 and nobody's ever heard of the guy. That's absolutely crazy. So that's why I say the window is kind of shrinking for me. And, you know, not to say the athletes are passing away, but the field is narrowing quite a bit. You know, once you have written to so many 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s players, I don't necessarily need to write Frank Tanana to get him again on every single card he's ever been featured on. You know, that's something I could do at a later date when I go through the dreaded eBay. I forgot to mention this one came out of Houston right there. So the first one was out of Florida, and the second one Orlando, and the second one out of Houston. So not much to say about these athletes, but I do this as a service to show people who's signing and who's not signing. And again, I do it as a way to basically get people out of that rut of sending the Frank Tananas day in, day out. It just gets kind of mundane and boring. And a lot of people have basically just had to stop because, again, there's a huge divide right now between, you know, it's just the content. There's too much content to watch and to spread all over. I mean, it's nice to show these off here, but I don't know how many people actually have these cards or want to get these cards autographed. It's not a big deal because nobody has ever heard of Mr. Ziegler or Byram. I barely even heard of them, you know, so whatever that is. But anyway, and I've been going through crazy amounts of cards because, again, I don't feel like sending Ron Blomberg $5 or $10. I think it's $10, and he hasn't signed in half of a year maybe, or I haven't seen any successes from him. And then I'm going through my book collection. I had a goal of getting rid of 50 books, and unfortunately it's only looking like 30 books I'm getting rid of. There's a few other books I threw on the sale pile, which I hope to make some sales on, but if I can't sell them, they might end up going back into my collection. So it's still really only 30 books and a couple of DVDs or CDs. If I could get my DVDs and CDs organized, which will take all day and every day, it would take the entire week for me to get that done, 24/7 to organize those. I don't really want to do that. Have to rip open boxes and go through storage, you know, areas and stuff like that, and pull them out, and only to find out that I'm only getting rid of 3 DVDs, which didn't take up a lot of space. But the books is something, like I mentioned in a video, I have something over 3,000 books. And if you just looked at my books, you was like, oh no, it's probably a couple hundred books. No, it's 3,000 books. And believe me, I did not buy all of those. I just lucked into them. That just happened books just happen to follow me everywhere. And as soon as I get rid of 30 books, in a month's time, I'll probably end up with another 30 books and nothing will have changed. So that is all I have for today. Just like I said, I'm just doing this as a service for my own self, just to show what I have gotten and done so I can go back and review, which I rarely ever review my videos, but maybe I'll just put Byram and Ziegler in the title, and thank you for watching.